Hey guys, it's Rachel. I am back with another video. Keeping your peace. I feel like there was a trend a year-ish ago about keeping your peace, and it blew up on social media in general, like TikTok and Instagram and YouTube. But for whatever reason, I feel like the concept is foreign to people now and we're ignoring it. Let's not make that happen. Let's keep it up. Keep protecting the peace. Over this past year, I have went through so many different little struggles or issues or problems that I had, and I powered through and I got through them. And I'm proud of myself for that. It was a lot of hard work, but only recently have I now remembered the concept of protecting my peace, and I have been putting it into practice for over 2 months. So I wanted to give you guys tips and personal experience stories about how to do it and why it's so important. I have filmed this video twice already, and this is the third time. So if this doesn't work this time, there is a 99.999% chance that you will not get this video. So if you see this video, because it worked this time, we're gonna make this one work. We're gonna make it work. So over this past year, I've done a lot. I moved to Montreal for a year and I went to college and I lived with 3 other girls, and it was a really crazy, wild, good experience. There was ups and downs, a whole different experience of everything. And then I also went to Italy for the summer and I went to au pair, and it was a good experience, but there was also a lot that was mentally draining and a lot that was stuff to work through and practice, and so many different experiences, and being out of my normal home and my normal culture and also language. There was just so much that was foreign when I went to Italy, which, I mean, no fucking shit, like, I'm in Italy, so of course it's different. There's a different language, and I'm there for 3 months too. So it was a lot, and it was a different experience. And now coming back, I'm in my parents' home. I'm living here for a little while, and I am making money, and I am trying to get myself rebalanced for wherever I go. However that happens, we're leaving it up to the universe to decide. Basically, we will see what's right for when. And we'll get there. Being back for almost 2 months, I've really reintroduced the concept of protecting my peace, and I didn't even realize I was doing it until a couple of days ago. And then I had noticed that I have felt so good these past 2 months. They have flew by, and it was because I wasn't putting up with bullshit. I wasn't keeping people in my life that were draining and messy and dramaful, and also kind of people that don't connect with me, that it feels like I'm giving so much of my mental energy to. And I wasn't keeping up with certain habits that I have. Doom scrolling at night and doom scrolling the second that you wake up in the morning, and spending so much time on negative thoughts and not even putting in any effort to try to change that. So much that was just not helping me. But since I've been back, for whatever reason, I've been out of that habit, and I realized here is the way that I did it. You can see literally all of these. What does it say? Notice what is draining you. The first step is really tough, but also really important. It's the most crucial out of all of them. Well, so is step number 4. They're actually all crucial, whatever. Number 1 is to notice what's draining you. To really realize what's taking your energy, what's the thief of all of this peace, and what is making you feel less content. For me, it was certain people that were not even in my life anymore, from past lives, from the summer when I was in Italy, so people over that way. People from the year before that who I kept putting in energy to and were not reciprocating it because I wanted to keep a connection with them, and I just had to realize at some point they don't want that connection with you anymore. Just let them be. And it's just like draining. People that are not fueling you, using social media as a boredom fixer, but it doesn't really work because it just makes you feel more shit, or negative thoughts. There's so many different reasons why you might feel like your peace is being ripped away from you and stolen. Most of the time, it's not somebody else doing it to you, it's what you're letting happen. And I think that's really important, is that we don't even realize we're kind of doing it to ourselves. Not intentionally. When you let yourself scroll on TikTok for 4 hours in a day, you're not giving yourself any time to do your other hobbies. Keep your space clean and your environment happy and healthy feeling, and doing things that are beneficial for you, like eating better, keeping yourself clean and hygienic and happy, and pouring your time into whatever hobbies you may have, whether that's a sport, whether that's beauty, whether that's art, anything. You're not putting more time into you, you're letting it being stolen away. So notice everything that is draining yourself. And then that brings me to step number 2. Create a path to cut it out. I think that it's so important to really sit down, or stand up, actually whatever you want, but really take a moment to recognize which way is best for you to get those negative habits, those negative people, those negative things that are draining you out of your life. So for me, a few of the things that I had was, one being TikTok. TikTok. TikTok in general, or just short form content that I feel like I scroll on for hours a day, isn't beneficial for me. If I want to watch content, if I want to use social media in any way, I like to watch YouTube videos because I can always find a way to watch one that's somewhat either informational or just like have a kind of podcast in the background. A few people that I listen to every once in a while whenever I can, Fernanda Ramirez, she's a gorgeous, amazing TikToks. No, she's a gorgeous, amazing podcast, pardon me. And I love listening to those. It was something that I listened to when I was in Montreal, and I quickly started really enjoying her content. So listening to her in the background when I'm doing literally anything else, I can still use social media in a sense, but I'm not just sitting here focusing on my phone and doing nothing. I also really love Ben of the Week, specifically his Drama Mama podcast, because it's fascinating. Like, you're still getting some form of like social media news. Do you know what I mean? Do you kind of know what I mean? You're still getting, on a long-term scale, heavily unimportant information, but you feel like you can still be in the loop. And he tends to talk about anything that's kind of blowing up trends-wise. Also, he's just really cool, that guy. Also, he's like kind of hot. But like, shh, don't tell Ben. Just kidding, do tell Ben. Hit me up, Ben. I know you're 25, but it's okay. No one has to know. So creating that path to really get those things out. So maybe that is switching over to YouTube for a while and getting TikTok out of your space. Deleting the app too might be the answer. I deleted it a week ago and I'm feeling really good about it. I haven't re-uploaded it yet, so I'm proud of myself for that. And I mean, we'll see how long that goes. Here's hoping it's forever. I don't need TikTok back. The only issue is sometimes I like posting TikToks, so kind of can't post if you don't have the app. But I think I'll be just fine posting on YouTube, and I mean, I post on Instagram as well. So I feel like I have plenty of social media in my life. I don't need to bring the other app back. If we can stick to two, let's stick to two, right? Or maybe social media doesn't feel draining to you. It could also be other people. And I think that can be really tough. What I was trying to speak about in, I think, the second version of this video that I made, I fucking can't believe I filmed 2 already. This has been like an hour and a half, was people who are in your life and in your environment can drain you more than you think they can. You might not even notice how exhausting it is to be around them. And sometimes you can't do anything about that to change it. So maybe there's a friend in your life that just doesn't feel like they're uplifting you and they're not exciting to be around. You don't really want to update them with your life anymore. You don't really want to keep that connection, and you're just like, yeah, this person's just not my person right now. They're not it for me. I don't need them here anymore. Let them go. And you can do that. And it's tough, and sometimes it's disappointing, especially if they're a long-term childhood friend, or there's somebody that you've even just known for a year and you're just like, hey, I don't think we're working anymore. Like, I need something else from friendships and I don't think I can get that from you. And you kind of do need to break up with your friendships. And sometimes that really is the important thing. And it's tough, don't get me wrong. It's not exactly exciting to let somebody know that you're not appreciating them the way that you used to, and your friendship isn't benefiting you anymore. The issue is you can also have people in your life, like family members, that are really tough to deal with, but yet you want to keep them. You have to go through all of that work to try to heal that relationship so that your peace is protected, but you can still keep in contact and relation with them. You can also have people in your life where there's nothing you can do about it. Like coworkers, for example. Okay, I swear to God, I can't speak today. Can I pronounce anything? Coworkers, for example. I have 2 different coworkers in mind. I recently started this job a couple months ago. I've been enjoying it so far, but I have 2 different in mind that are very, very different, although they work the same position. They feel like very, very different people to me, and the way that I feel after I leave a conversation with them or even a shift with them is drastically different. Neither of these people are inherently good or inherently bad people. I think they're both good people, and they're both trying to be good people in the world, but one of them connects with me significantly more than the other does. So I haven't really worked with either of these 2 people very much. One of them I worked one shift with solely. I was the only server, they were the bartender. I just fucking exposed the fact that I'm talking about bartenders. Whatever. Everyone's gonna figure out who these people are. If you're one of my coworkers at the moment, you might know, but it's probably okay because you also might agree. Anyway, don't bring this up at work, please. Just kidding, do whatever you want. One of the bartenders that I work with, I really appreciate. Is somebody that I connect with. We worked a shift together. We chatted about a bunch of random things. And I didn't leave that conversation feeling dumb. I didn't feel drained. I didn't feel as if I could have gone without it. I felt really content and happy that I had it. And I enjoyed it. And I really appreciate that person, and we connect in a way where I feel respected, and I hope I respect them and they feel respected by me. But I have another person that I work with who I'm not a fan of. I started off enjoying. I always try to give people the benefit of the doubt and be very open-minded. I'm like, I don't know, maybe this is my new best friend. We don't know. And over time, I've realized they're not my favorite person. And they haven't done anything wrong. They just don't make me feel uplifted, and we don't get to have conversations that are fascinating to me. Most of the time, it tends to feel like it's just complaining about customers. They're getting upset about me, even though I haven't done anything, and maybe I'm just like pushing them to do their job. It's a whole thing, and that's okay. But they haven't done anything wrong. They're just not my favorite person. Not my favorite person to work with, and not somebody that I want to continuously work with. But when I do work with them, I acknowledge they're a good person, they're doing their job, we'll respectfully have a good companionship and relation so that we can get our jobs done. And I think the issue is sometimes people don't know the line between being respectful and also needing to cut somebody out, and that's important too. If it's somebody where you have the option to not keep in contact with them because you're not working with them or they're just a distant friend, don't drain yourself and give them all of that attention and energy if you know that they're not uplifting you back. And the first person that I was talking about, they're giving me space to speak. They're giving me open-minded opinions that I can also, challenge and play devil's advocate with. And they're giving me that space and respect. And I think it's really, really important because that feels like my peace is protected. And whether we do have an opinions that clashing, because I'm sure we had a few in that conversation, we were able to navigate them in a very respectful, mindful way where they spoke on something and then I spoke on something, and maybe we weren't cohesive, but then we moved on, we found a new topic. And other people, not the same. I'll say something that's not cohesive and then that person will walk away under their breath and go, that's not fucking true. And that's not fun. I don't like working with that kind of people. It's not gonna make you feel better, and it's not hella making me feel better, so let's just not do that. Protecting your peace can mean still having opposing opinions, but in a respectful, insightful, smart way. The third one I have is filling up your empty space. I don't know if you can see that. This one is very important. I mean, they're all very important, so I'm not gonna say that anymore. But this one is important because you need to cut everything out that's not working for you, but refill it up with other things. So whether that means that you are cutting out the amount of time you are scrolling on social media, or you're cutting out the amount of time that you're spending with people that are draining, or you're arguing with this kind of person who is just not beneficial to you and you don't appreciate them and their way and lifestyle of living and everything that just feels like negative, letting that go, pushing it to a side, just not giving it your time and energy, but refilling it with something else. So if I work a shift with this person who I do not appreciate as much, we don't need to have those conversations. I won't entertain them. I won't bring them up, but then do something else during my shift. Maybe that means like literally just drawing on the notepads when I have a second. And obviously work, do your work. But what I'm referring to is the fact that sometimes we have a lot of open time where we don't have somebody in, or we did all of our side duties or whatever, and there's nothing to do except speak, try to create a conversation. Sometimes we're fully dead in the bar and there's nobody there. So either talk to each other or instead do literally anything else. I can plan my next day. I can think of anything that brings me joy. Think of fun outfits. I know everything I've got in my closet. I got that shit memorized. So think of fun outfits that I can make for the day after. I'm thinking right now, I haven't worn one pair of pants in a very long time. They're cute pants too. Damn, now I'm really excited to wear that outfit. Okay, anyway. I feel like making this podcast right now, I'm trying to give you guys ideas on protecting your peace, but I'm also sort of speaking to myself as well by being like, hey, this is something that you can do too. If you don't like talking to this person, because I've basically made it very clear to me and a few other people in my life, no, I'm not a fan of this person. Do anything else with your mind. Do literally anything else. Go clean random shit in the back because God knows it probably needs to be cleaned. And other ways you can fulfill it in an easier way. So like if you're spending too much time on TikTok, you're spending too much time with people you don't fully enjoy, like in a friend group setting where you're all going out to drinks or you're all going out to coffee or something like that, and there's somebody there you just don't appreciate, take yourself out of that situation. Nobody's requiring you to be there. You're welcome to be wherever you want to be, whenever you want to be. If that person's not working for you, go. Get out of there, girl. Fill it up with other things too. I think for me, getting off of TikTok and social media as much as I possibly can, TikTok and Instagram Reels, I feel like they're very equal. Getting off of that, but filling it up with other things. So I just bought a huge kit worth of gel nail products because I fucking love gel nails. These are the new set that I did. It's the first set that I've done. And they're like cute. They're not amazing. I honestly might redo them in the next couple days just because I love doing nails so much. They're so much fun. Doing anything else to fill up your time. Reading or poetry or journaling are things that I've been doing recently. Sewing, organizing my room. Sometimes I'm just like, I'm bored. I'm gonna call my sister. She probably gets a little sick of me sometimes, but no, she doesn't. She doesn't get the choice to. Sorry, Madeline. I get sick of her. So you know what? It's equal. Like, not actually. I don't know why I said that. I'm not actually sick of Madeline. Anyway, calling my sister if I can. Literally putting my time into any other avenue that I know that is gonna lift me up. And maybe that also means make a list on the avenues that are lifting you. Number 4 is do not falter. This one's tough, but I think it's also, I'm not gonna say important. If you're letting yourself falter back on the habits that you're attempting to create, they're not gonna be continuous, or they're gonna take a hell of a lot of time to really get to the point where you wanna be. If you know there's a friend in your life that is not uplifting you in the way that you wish they were, let them go. Don't keep giving them second chances. You know, there's a person that I know that I recently connected with over the past month, and this person I've realized is not somebody that I want to be connected with. They're not somebody that excites me and somebody that I feel like I want to continuously spend my time texting or hanging out with. And because of that, I'm realizing, hey, I need to let this person know we're not gonna connect anymore. We need to let things go, and that's okay. But not keep giving them 3rd, 4th, 5th chances because I'm like, well, maybe we can connect. We're not. I've already realized we're not going to. It's only respectful to them to let them know that and say, hey, I don't need to hang out again. However this would work in the conversation, I think we're gonna leave it here. Or maybe that means just not texting them back, and that can be harsh. But I feel like people shit on ghosting too much. Sometimes ghosting is important. I mean, like in a polite way, not like in a just like never text them again. Like slowly stop texting them. Maybe that's toxic of me. I don't know. I've done it for some people, and I think in certain situations it works. Whatever. This one, not so much. This one, it's completely on me to be like, hey, I don't need to hang out again. I appreciate you. Thank you for the time. We're good. And not giving them more time, not continuously texting them, not continuously draining myself, even though I already know I'm done with this, because now we're just wasting everybody's time. Let's keep the habit up, you know? And last but not least, habit. Keep trying. Try again and again and again and again. Every time that you see something in your life that is not making you feel good, protect it, create a new path to cut it out, fill up that empty space, do not falter with it, and habit. And I think that's the way that you can try to protect your peace the best. And everybody has different experiences, and everybody has different formulas for making this shit work. And whatever your formula is, let me know, because I would love to hear more advice and more opinions on ways that we can do this and protect all of our different pieces together, even if that's cohesive or all of these different zones. That's okay too. But let me know how you guys do it. Let me know if this is helpful information, if this is stuff that you guys vibe with and you want to talk about. Also, I think I'm going to try to make some more podcast type videos because these ones are really fun for me to film. I love sitting here and just chatting. And it's cute to have a little background and a cozy little environment and just sit here and talk to you guys. I love it. I hope you love it. And keep going, guys. We got this. Protecting our peace, there's no end point. There's not a point where you're just like, great, well, I'm protected, so now I'm done. It's a continual choice. It's a lifestyle that you're putting yourself into, that you're attempting to feel your best and content and happy and joyous and have all of your good things good, and keeping them that way and not letting other people or other things absorb that. Even if you're not intentionally doing that to yourself, sometimes you can still get yourself into situations where things are not benefiting you. I hope you guys enjoyed today's podcast video type thing. Let me know if you guys want me to film any more. I would love to. I love you all. I will see you in the next one.